Hello and welcome back everyone. This is Aditi Gupta and today we are going to talk about two most important system of human body, that is skeletal and muscular system. Let me tell you that this topic is little vast, so we are going to cover it into at least 2 or 3 parts. So let us begin with the part 1. So here let me initially tell you what topics we are going to cover in the whole session about skeletal and muscular system. So here we are going to cover these all topics: skeletal system and its function, its parts of all the parts of skeleton, structure of bone, joints, muscular system and its function. So these all are all the topics we are going to cover all in all the further parts, but here for this part we are going to cover only for skeleton system and its function and structure of bone. Okay, so we are going to cover these two topics, skeleton system and its function and structure of bone here. So let's begin with our skeletal system. So what is skeletal system? Let me tell you what is skeleton system. You can have a look of this picture here. Just these pictures are how it is looking like. Is it looking like a human? Yes, it is looking like a human, but actually it is not, because it is not covered with the skin. So our whole body is covered with the skin. Okay, so but here it is actually a human body. It is actually a human body, but it is not covered with skin. So what we can call it as it is just like a frame. Okay, so once we'll cover it, then it becomes a human, but it's only a kind of a frame. And why I'm using the word frame? Because it gives you a kind of a frame which is a human body. So this is the definition of our human body. Skeleton system is the human body has a framework of bones that is known as skeleton or skeleton system. So this is all about skeleton system. So if we're going to define the skeleton system, is that the human body which has a framework of a bones is known as a skeleton system. So now if we'll talk about the body, then our body is made up of many organs. These organs collectively forms a system. In your previous classes also you must have learned that these organs are forming a system, that is our organ system. And if we are going to run these all systems in a regular manner, in a correct manner, so it should needs a protection inside our body. Okay, so these organs should be in a proper functioning, should be in a proper place, should be in a proper condition. So all these things are required. So that's why these all organs needs a protection, and this protection has been given by this kind of a framework. Okay, so the human body is all having a framework in which inside all the organs exist, and it is getting a protection kind of from this framework. So that is why I have written here also that number of soft organs, just read it out here, number of soft organs remain protected inside the framework of skeleton system. Okay, otherwise our body will get collapse means all the things will get mismanaged. Okay, so what all the organs should be at your proper place and it should function properly. That's why this frame is required. Okay, so here that is why I have written that skeleton system supports our body and it protects our body organs. Okay, so all these things we are going to discuss deeply one by one, just to give you a preview that what we are going to learn in this whole video. So let's begin. Okay, so just have a look here. I have shown that these organs, how these organs are existing with the framework of our skeleton. These all organs exist in our whole body, the lungs, brain, all these things are existing here with our proper functioning. And this is our whole skeleton, and we're going to talk about this further. Okay, so now if we should know that if it is a frame, so it must be a collection of a bone. Okay, it is a frame means so many bones are collectively forming a kind of a structure, and these bones collectively forms a skeleton system. So we should know that how many numbers of bones are there in our skeleton system, means total how many bones are there which is forming this whole structure. So we are having a human skeleton. An adult human skeleton has 206 bones, remember it. Okay, so basically how many numbers of bones we are having in an adult person. Why I'm saying again and again adult person, it is having a reason, because only adult person is having 206 bone in our body. But if we'll talk about a newborn baby, so newborn baby is having 300 and bone approximately. It is having more than 300 and bones. Okay, so now why this number is getting reduced? Okay, these numbers are getting reduced means bones are getting reducing. So what is happening? These bones are or we are taking it out from our body, or either they are getting dissolved inside our body. No, this is not going somewhere else, it is there inside our body. Then but what is happening here, that once we will grow from a newborn baby to an adult, then these few bones get fused together. Fuse means they collaborate with each other, they forms a single bone. Few small bones, many few bones, small bones fuse together and form a single bone. Okay, so we'll count it as a single bone once we'll get an adult person. Okay, but newborn baby, all these bones are separate, so we will count it as in a separate manner. That's why we are having 300 bones in a newborn baby, and once we'll get adult, so all these few bones get fused, few bones will get collaborate with each other. So that's why these numbers will get reduced further in a adult person. Okay, nowhere our bones are going, where we are not taking it out from our body at least, and it is not getting dissolved inside body, but what is happening, they are fusing inside it. Okay, so here I have prepared a chart for you that showing all the parts in a separate manner. You can see the whole skull is here. Okay, whole skeleton is here. Okay, and all the parts here I have divided, I have separated it in a different forms, in a different parts. So have a look, just have a look. We'll talk about further that this is skull. Okay, this is your collarbone, this is rib cage, this is your spine, that is pelvis, and these two are your limbs. Okay, these two are your limbs. This is forelimb and this is hind limb. Okay, now let's moving to the further about all the parts one by one in a deep manner. But before that, I must tell you the functions of skeleton system. Why that skeleton system, why the skeleton system actually important to us. Okay, so we should know that why actually we require skeleton system in our body. Okay, why we actually need having a need of this function, this skeleton system. So here first most important point is that it gives a shape and support to our body so that we can stand erect. And now what is erect? Erect means vertical manner. Okay, it is in a vertical manner, means straight. Okay, if a person can stand straight, that is means it is in a erect manner, it is in a vertical manner. Okay, so this gives you the shape and support so that you can stand properly, you can stand in a erect manner. Okay, second point is protects the vital internal organs of our body, which I have told you earlier also just now, that it protects our vital internal organ. Now vital is means which provides you life. Okay, so what is vital? It provides you the life, means that organs which is functioning properly, which is having a life inside. So this is vital internal organs of our body, and just like such as brain, hearts, lungs, and many more, spinal cords. Okay, so these all organs stick inside our skeleton system and protected by this system. Okay, now the bones along with the muscles help us to move our body parts. Okay, this is also, and one of the function is that bones, with the help of the muscles, we will learn that how this muscles are helping the bones in the movement in particular other slides, okay, in some other parts. But here you should retain that thing, that bones also help with the help of muscles moves our body parts. Okay, so we are going to way deep in this all one by one. So okay, now we know that we are having 206 bones. So what a single bone actually looks like? Okay, we must be curious, and the question arises in our mind that how the single bone is look like. I mean, what is the what actually the structure of a bone? Okay, so here just have a look of this whole bone, that how this bone is looking. It is basically it is segregated into three parts, that is spongy bone, hard bone, and blood vessels. Okay, just look at the bone carefully. First part is spongy bone, hard bone, and blood vessels. So bones are made up of tissues and have supply of blood vessels and nerves. Here you can see that this is blood vessels. Blood vessels means we are having a system which is having a network kind which carries the blood from the heart to the whole body and from the whole body to the heart. Okay, so this is kind of a system. This is having a kind of a chain which runs the blood throughout the body. So the hair also, of course, our bone is a part of our body, so it needs a function. It needs a why blood is important in our body, because that blood provides you the oxygen. Okay, so that pure blood provides the oxygen throughout the body. Okay, so that's why blood is important. So blood is important in the bone also. That's why we are having blood vessels here in bones. Okay, so this is having a supply of blood vessels and nerves in our bone. Next is bones requires nourishment. If something is in a living form, so definitely it is needed as kind of a nourishment to stay alive, to stay in a growing manner. So these all things are required. So similarly, bones are also required a kind of a nourishment in the form of minerals, and these minerals are calcium and phosphorus. These what are the minerals and vitamins required for our bones? That is calcium and phosphorus. These are minerals and vitamins. Okay, so these are the nourishment. Just nutrients are important to stay healthy. Similarly, bones are also requiring some kind of things to stay healthy, to be in a proper functioning. Now I have told you that two other parts, spongy bone and hard bone. Okay, so here our bone, if you must have touch any part of your body, just touch your hand. Okay, so if you touch your hand, so you will feel that there's something inside that skin which is in a hard manner, which is somewhere, it is a hard. Okay, so if you touch to something hard, you feel something hardness inside your skin. It exists inside your skin. So that is actually the outer portion of our body. Okay, why I'm saying outer portion? Because outside of a bone is it is in a hard form. Okay, and spongy, and from inside it is spongy, it is soft. Okay, from inside it fills with a spongy characteristic. It's soft from the inside, but it is hard from the outside. You can have a look here. Okay, so this is all about bone. Now bone are of different shapes and size. Fine, we are not having a equal shape, equal size of all the bones. We are having the small bones also, we are having the big largest bone in our body also. Will you must have heard about, I'll talk about all the parts of particular bones, so then we will talk in limbs also, then I'll tell you the which is the largest bone. Okay, so that is the further part, but right now we are having a different shapes and size of our bones and contain a soft tissue called bone marrow. Just remember this word, bone marrow. Bone marrow is a kind of a tissue, soft tissues which exist inside our body, bone, which exist inside our bones, and this actually is a place where the blood cells forms, where the new blood cells generate. Okay, so that is a very important part of our body which produces our new blood cells in our body. Okay, so that bone marrow exists inside our bone as a soft tissue. Okay, and lastly, it also stores the calcium. That's why we require all the minerals. It also stores the calcium in an optimum amount. So that is why we should be rich in our these minerals, calcium and phosphorus, to stay our bone healthy. Okay, now lastly, it is the cartilage. Cartilage is actually a kind of a tough elastic substance between two bones, and these are called cartilage. Okay, so now it is what a tough elastic substance which between two bones are called a cartilage, and it also stops the bone from rubbing each other and causing a pain. So we are not going to deep into, just remember that this stops the bones from rubbing each other against each other, and it saves us from any kind of pains, these cartilage. And if you will touch your nose, earlobes, these all are made up of cartilage. That is why we can bend it easily, because it is a kind of a tough elastic. Okay, so elastic means flexibility, so it is having a flexibility, and you will not feel any kind of pain on that surface which is actually have a cartilage. Okay, so you never feel any pain in rubbing, in twisting your nose, or in twisting or earlobes at some point of a way. So that is why it is a kind of a tough elastic. Okay, so that's all. So this is all for this video, and we are going to talk about further for the rest of the parts and further parts. Next video will talk about parts of the skeleton, joints, and rest of the remaining parts. Will cover all the things in the next part. Till then, just go through this everything and stay safe. Have a good day. Thank you.